Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Steel Donut Collective. My name is Bob. With me today I have Connor.
Hello there.
Matt.
Hey, what's up?
Blake.
Hello, everybody.
And a very special guest, Big Mac. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your channel, Big Mac?
Well, I run the NerdRageNetwork and connected channels, and I'm Batman. I like long walks on the beach, whatever I happen to have at the fridge at the given moment, and
Pina coladas getting caught in the rain.
yeah, that too. And yeah, anyone in my presence feels the rain of the nectar of the gods, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about right now, but yeah.
Pretty effectively summarized this channel.
I do
we'll have
like
a link in the description.
random
and
crap, honestly.
Yeah, we'll have a link in the description, and at some point we'll probably be making a video with him over on his channel as well. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that'll help.
So if that sounds cool to you, head over there and go check it out.
Yeah. Today we're going to be reading a creepypasta called "I'm What You Like to Call an Urban Explorer," which is
I'm what you like to call.
It's a great title. Beautiful title. Just a full fucking
I like
sentence.
pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just found
Urban
the story,
beaches.
and let's see how good it is.
I'm what you like to call an urban explorer. This hobby usually entails traveling quite a bit. Well,
No, yeah, no
Obviously.
shit. That's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
sort of the whole point of exploring.
It'd be pretty hard to be an urban
Christopher
explorer
Columbus.
that stayed in his room.
No,
all
dude,
day.
he's an urban explorer and he explores his basement. It's like every time he goes down there, it's like a whole new world.
Whoa! I find something new
Columbus,
every
he
time I
just
go
sat
down
there.
there. Whoa.
So, anyway, yes, it entails traveling quite a bit, and then trying to find any abandoned structures or areas that are worth taking a look at.
Any of them.
Sometimes I travel rather far from home, maybe even out of state.
Whoa.
And then other times I'd go to other cities.
Other cities?
Oh my
That's way
god.
further than out of state.
Yeah.
What a crazy nut job.
There are
Well,
no
what
cities in
you
my
don't
state.
understand is he lives in a forest that's on the border of like Virginia and like West Virginia, and the nearest city is like 60 miles away. So it's much easier to go out of state than it is to go to another city.
I see.
Oh, yeah, well, if you thought that was far, are you ready for the next thing on the list?
Sure.
Or go a few more miles away from where I live.
Whoa!
Wait,
going
why would he?
long
Why would he
distance.
describe it like that? I'm gonna get really far from home, like out of state or another city, or just a few miles away from my house, or just outside.
Oh my
It's like
god,
he's
what a
lowering the
trailblazer.
standards as the sentence goes on.
It's like, man, I get so far away. I get to the kitchen.
I get out of the basement.
Yeah,
I made a mean sandwich. Roast beef on rye.
I got to my closet door.
I got to my room door, but that was too far, so I turned back to my bed.
I stood up out of bed, but then, laid back down.
Laid back down. I'm an urban explorer.
Yeah.
One time I took this thing called the shit in the bathroom. I'd never been there before, but it was so mystical seeing this weird fountain of youth in there.
Wow, it was great. I took a
youth, yeah.
sip and it tasted amazing.
I feel so much younger. This time, however, I did not have that kind of benefit of traveling so far away due to the fact that the economy had gotten so bad my job wasn't paying as well.
Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Fucking Obama.
I had a
this
whole,
story-
$5 less, so I couldn't, get in my car and drive that extra mile? Like, what?
Yeah.
You see, man, that's just how it is.
How much money do you need to drive anywher from another state over to, 2 miles
but-
over and go explore
here's-
somewhere?
Here's what you're forgetting. So, you've got, when he goes to his job, he earns $20 a day, which is terrible. But he earns $20 a day, and then when the economy tanked, he started earning negative $20 a day.
Oh.
They required him to pay to be there.
It's like in SpongeBob, where when they get a raise, they just have to pay Mr. Krabs less to work at the Krusty Krab.
Exactly.
He's at his job and he's like, they should be paying me for doing this shit, not the other way
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
around. Yeah.
I'm stacking boxes. I'm organizing shit, and they should be paying me for it.
Yeah. All right, that'll be $40.
And I missed the
Thanks,
I missed
boss.
the thanks. Yeah, I missed the thanks Obama joke. Now we just have to make do with in Donald J. Trump's America.
Yeah.
We're gonna make urban exploring great again. You're gonna go to places like the backyard, and you're not gonna know left from right.
Yeah. It'll be tremendous.
We're gonna build a wall right across your front wall.
The fake media might be telling you that urban exploring ain't good, but that's a lie.
I will build a great fence separating your yard from the alleyway, and it'll be fantastic.
It'll be the best.
It'll be
It'll
a great
And
deal.
the back alley bums will pay for it.
Yeah, the bums will have to pay for it. They're already paying to stack boxes. How are they going to afford this?
Yeah, well.
Okay, so because of this, if I wanted to explore any abandoned places, I would have to keep to the more local areas.
Oh.
I started urban exploration a few years ago when I moved into my current house. I had just settled in, and I had seen every room in the house, including the basement.
What?
Wow, he really is exploring his
Wait a
house.
minute.
Wow.
When he moved into a house, he went and checked every room?
No way.
Well, if you remember earlier,
My
we weren't
parents-
exaggerating.
I moved
It's
into the
difficult
house
for
that
him.
my parents live in like 15 years ago. I still haven't seen every room.
Yeah.
But it wasn't long before I noticed something strange about the basement floor. In the center of the room, there was a small square wooden hatch with a metal handle attached to it.
It's not strange.
Yeah, I'm amazed you saw that one, Sherlock.
Yeah,
A big metal handle sticking out of the floor.
That's not strange at all. Lots of basements have like cellars.
Underfloor storage, yeah. When I saw this, I thought there might be some storage area underneath, but what I found was much better than that.
Cocaine.
I opened the hatch and looked inside. There was a short metal ladder leading directly downwards to a room under me.
love ladders.
So you found Wait, so he's like, I thought there might be a storage area, but when I opened the hatch, I saw a storage.
But it's not. No, the storage area wasn't the thing that was so great. It was the ladder.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good ladder.
It was
Yeah,
metal.
yeah,
It had the specs of being like so like metal and long, and it just made my mouth water.
God
runs
damn, that ladder's got right
vintage.com.
angles in all the right places.
Holy
There's
shit,
Rick
dude! We
now.
got to get some of that.
All right, so it gave me great excitement. I didn't expect to find
Whoa.
a sub-basement,
Cool.
and such a thing isn't common in most homes. The room was difficult to see into as there was no light source inside, so I went and grabbed a flashlight from upstairs.
Professional urban explorer.
Hell yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah, you should know all urban explorers keep a flashlight on them at all times.
Yeah.
I came back and went down the ladder while shining the flashlight inside. Inside of the ladder.
Inside
Yeah.
yeah. It's a great
It was a
ladder,
small-
dude. It's a great ladder.
It was a small, narrow hallway with a storage closet, and there wasn't much else there.
Oh, that
Creepy.
That
All
stinks.
Ooh.
Creepypasta. It's an empty, boring room. It was mostly empty with a
What
few
I
bits of
found down
trash.
there would spook me for the rest of my days. Nothing.
Legend
There's a few
says
bits of-
if you walk in, you can't get out unless you turn around.
Unless you turn around.
Wow, nice. Rumor has it that if you go down the ladder and you have no hands or feet, you can never escape.
Whoa.
And then look what's on the floor. It's mostly empty with a few bits of trash and blueprints lying around.
Well, yeah, don't you know? All right. Look,
Great,
you
now let's
understand.
put
Whenever
one
you
for the
make
human bomber.
whenever you make a house, you gotta leave the blueprints there.
Yeah, somewhere, yeah.
Usually they bury them under the floorboards, but I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, secrete them in a sub-basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was mostly empty with a few bits of trash and blueprints lying around, but there wasn't any furniture or any other rooms.
Well, yeah, it was like a small closet and a hallway. Where would the furniture go?
Anticlimactic, I know, but it didn't cease to amaze and excite me because this was a great surprise.
My God.
I wish I could be this amused.
Oh, I wish
I
my
also
life
like
was
to
so
stare at
fucking
clouds in my
boring.
free
That,
time.
like I swear, yeah, I wish my life was so fucking boring that like just walking
empty
into
room.
an empty room was a great excitement and surprise for me.
Oh my gosh, the walls, they're so straight.
Flat. Yeah. What the heck?
I
Musty.
broke down crying. Enjoy.
This is
I
amazing.
saw a cobweb. I saw a cobweb and came in my pants.
Wow, I didn't realize I didn't realize I had another 100 square feet of room in this house. This is amazing.
Reminds me of like, have you guys ever watched Futurama? You remember the episode where Fry moves in with Bender and like he's complaining to how small the room is, and it's like, oh, you forgot about the closet, and it's like an actual
Yeah.
studio apartment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe he hasn't checked the closet door yet. Like he's gonna open the closet and find it's not a small closet. It's gonna be like a full studio apartment.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice. Maybe there's a sub basement. Like we
Yeah.
can go deeper.
Oh my god, it's just a roguelike going all the way down.
Yeah. He's on
Yeah.
the first floor right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's gonna be like an NPC who's just like, use X to swing your sword.
Press Q to quaff a potion.
Yeah, so I did say that. Press Q to quaff a potion.
Yeah.
The best command in any video game ever.
Welcome, traveler. Pull this sword out or don't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, get going.
The place looked dusty and rather old, as did the hatch. and I assumed that this was an unused part of the house. Ever since then, I've been trying to find new abandoned areas to explore and satisfy my curiosity.
Wow.
You have a boring life, dude.
This
What a
is his
boring-
origin story.
His origin story of being a boring person.
It's the opposite
What
of an
a
edgy
weekend.
backstory. It's just a boring, lame.
Yeah, it's a flat backstory.
Just, ugh.
On a weekend, I decided to prepare for my next venture. When I got back from the store, I did some research on the surrounding areas for any new locations for which to check out.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Ooh.
That hurt. That was like walking on Legos right there at the end.
Most of the researched yielded the same places that I had already explored long ago, but there was one particular area which I hadn't explored yet, and for good reason.
Wait,
It was an area I deliberately avoided because it was poverty-stricken.
Oh, I
filled with
hate
crime,
poor people.
Oh, the
and mostly
bums.
consisted of rundown buildings.
Hold on. You want to explore unused, like
Abandoned
abandoned
buildings.
places, and you have an aversion to rundown buildings,
Dude, he's an urban explorer who doesn't want to go to anywhere urban.
Yeah, but
It's like it's like I love going to wine tastings, except that I hate alcohol.
Yeah.
No, it's more like
wine.
it's more like when he says he's an urban explorer, he just likes to go into the city and like hit up Nordstrom.
Right.
He
just
wants
goes-
to find unused spaces, so he goes out to like a field where nobody's bought up the land yet, and he's like, "Whoa,
Whoa, this is so cool.
yeah.
It's way better than all those cool abandoned buildings in the poverty-stricken area.
You
of town.
gross poor people.
yeah."
So it mostly consisted of rundown buildings. It was the kind of place you would go several miles around to get to your job just to avoid going through it.
Jesus.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah, is there-
you would.
is there
You're an
constant
asshole.
rioting going
That's a
on
not
there?
that-
cunt.
You know what I do? You know what I do? I just drive right through, and then you know what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens
Yeah.
to me. It's usually fine.
Unless you're in Baltimore. I would
fuck
there's-
Baltimore.
There's places in Baltimore. you
All
would
of
want to stay
Baltimore.
at.
I live in
Fuck all of
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Ah.
Everybody from Baltimore is an asshole.
Well, that's kind of
Yeah,
true. I'm
obviously.
from there.
Normally, I would stay away from such a place, and I actually did that for a long time.
Oh.
But I hadn't explored any new areas in several months, and I was getting anxious because my desire for exploration was at an all-time high.
There are no more closets in my house for me to explore.
Dude, you should get all-time high. Maybe then
Yeah, maybe
you'll be
just
like,
I feel like
take some crack. Just like a little bit of crack.
just a little bit.
And I think
Just
you'll
a
your
little
life
bit.
is so boring
Yeah.
that you're gonna have to resort to extreme measures.
You know,
Just
take a
crack.
little bit of crack, and then you'll find it's a lot easier to find yourself in that poverty-stricken, filled with crime, mostly consisting of rundown
You'll fit
buildings
right
area.
in.
Maybe you'll have
I
some.
feel like this is like the guy from House Hunters, just like imagining his life way more awesome than it actually is.
This is way
not
more
looking-
awesome.
To him, at least. I mean, you have a life where you go around
Yeah,
and
to
look
him,
for
he thinks
nothing
he's
but
an
houses
explorer.
that aren't like
Yeah, I guess.
falling
yeah.
apart. So it's like, yeah, I like abandoned property, as in property no one's lived in yet because it just got built, and I like to explore that because reasons.
It's abandoned by the builders because they just finished.
Yeah, it's all semantics.
Yeah.
So I decided to push away any doubts or fears of this particular area, so I could finally explore the remaining abandoned places that I hadn't been to before. The next Saturday, I drove my car up to that part of town, which was a few miles away, and I drove slowly around the neighborhood to see if I could spot any particular abandoned buildings that were both isolated and worth going into.
So you don't even know what you're going for? You're just driving around hoping to see something? What if you just find a trashy looking building and you go in there and there are people inside?
Yeah, this just went from like
Well,
urban
sorry.
explorer to just like breaking and entering.
Yeah.
There's just like a bunch of people shooting up heroin. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude."
Or like, it's my house. Like it's legit my house. But then like I
Oh, it looks
I
like
just
there's
don't
something
take
there.
care of the place. It looks like a big piece of shit and I'm out of town for a little while and you just break into my fucking house.
No, he didn't say. Well, I guess
Well, I
abandoned
mean, poor people.
constitutes that.
Like, who cares about their houses? Am I right?
I guess that's true. If they cared, they would clean the place up.
The town was just as I had expected. Most of the structures had barred or boarded up windows and closed off doors.
What the fuck is this? Silent Hill?
Yeah, those that were not like, it's more like Paranormal Love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Those that were not like this were far and few between, and pretty much all of these structures looked old and run down.
Few and far
That's
between.
the point.
No. The phrase is few and far between because it's far between them. Not few between them. You
Some of
idiot.
these places,
At that point, then, like, why are you even driving around looking for places when you got like 20 square acres of just like gold?
Empty space, yeah. Like if you're not gonna find an abandoned building in the middle of an empty field if you can see that it's empty.
Some of these places looked like they had been abandoned a long time ago, but I didn't want to explore them considering they were surrounded by other inhabited homes and apartments.
What?
Oh,
If I decided to break in any of these places, there was a good chance that somebody from across the street or a neighbor might notice and possibly call the police.
Yeah.
Why are you here then?
If this is as bad a part of town as you claim,
They're not
people
gonna
aren't
call
gonna
the
be
police
calling
for
the police.
B&E.
Why did you go to the suburbs then? That's where people live.
That isn't abandoned. That's like by default. That's by definition not where you'll find abandoned. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like he's going around like basic neighborhoods as if they're just like abandoned industrial areas. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, this
He's
is
like, oh,
suburbia.
I wonder if there are any
Go
abandoned
home.
houses in this cul-de-sac.
Exactly.
Oh,
like-
there's
he,
one.
like, tells his
but,
friends-
there are people living nearby. Never mind.
he tells his friends, he's like, I'm going to hit up the docks. And then he just goes down to a little fishing pier.
Yeah.
There's an RV campsite nearby.
Yeah.
He tells his friends he's gonna head into this spooky abandoned forest, and he goes over to like the local like park.
I'm gonna head into the docks. Whoops, I meant the Dick's Sporting Goods. I stayed in here after they locked the doors. I'm all alone now.
I'm an urban explorer.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
swimming,
And
but
this
like,
is a YouTube social experiment.
like I'm gonna go like snorkeling, and he jumps in a kiddie pool.
Yeah.
This is a YouTube social experiment. I'm trapped in this Dick's Sporting Goods with this 1,000-degree knife.
I wonder what it'll do to my forehead. Oh no.
Yeah.
The 1,000-degree knife?
Running.
Yeah, there's also the risk of running into some homeless people or some meth addicts living in these vacant lots. This wasn't a risk I wanted to take. Then why'd you come to this part of town? So I kept driving around, hoping I would find some abandoned places that were somewhat isolated from the rest of the area. I thought you couldn't afford to drive very far, but you're apparently going around for like hours trying to find the perfect building.
I mean, like, why don't you just, like, use Google Street View to just, like, look around
Find
town
something.
Why
and
don't
then
you
find
use
something
Google
and
House
just go
View?
straight there?
You know what he does? The reason he's not so good at this is because he's so used to using Google House View to urban explore for him.
Oh,
just go in
where
the
it just
houses.
no, it doesn't go into houses. It goes into his house. He sits at his computer in his room and like explores his own house using Google House View.
Whoa, is this what other
Like a little
people
drone.
see? when
Wait a
they're in
minute.
my
There's a
house?
kitchen in this house. It's like literally 20 feet from me through a wall.
Shit, I gotta write this down. Otherwise,
Dude, I gotta take down that wall
Yeah.
so I can get to the kitchen.
His
It
mother's
took me a while,
down
but I
with the
came
living
across one
room.
particular road which led out from the neighborhood into a large, mostly empty field. So you didn't find a place in that town. You wasted all your time.
Mm-hmm.
I parked my car alongside the road, not too far from this road. Look at this road that
I
I just rode.
I parked my car on that road. You guys
Not
can see
too-
what I'm pointing at, right? That one.
I
You know
parked the
that
car
road.
on
Yeah,
this
the road
road,
right
not
there.
too
Here,
far
I'll
from
draw it
that
out
road.
for you.
Yeah.
And then, yep, and then here's this road, and then here's the other road, right? You guys see that?
Yeah.
See that right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm parked.
Yeah. Man, I'm a
I
master
just love
of
that
detail.
wording. I parked my car alongside the road, not too far from this road.
Not too far from this road. I'm parked on that road over there.
Yeah. And I hope that my car wasn't going to get
I
towed.
love it whenever I see a story where someone, like in first person, writes about that blank or this blank in this.
Like,
one.
we're
I like
supposed
how
to
he
know
thinks
what
his
we're talking
car
about.
is
I like
gonna
when they
get
drop-
towed in like the shittiest neighborhood.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
when they drop hard rhymes like this. I mean, listen. Like,
Yeah, it's abandoned,
parked
but
my
they
car
care that
alongside
much.
the road, not too far from this road, and I hope that my car wasn't going to get towed.
Oh,
Yeah, it just suddenly becomes like poetic for like a split second. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm writing a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I walked down the road for a long time. It must have been just a few short miles from where I had started. Why?
Why?
didn't you just
Why didn't
drive?
you take the car?
You know, he ran out of fuel driving around that neighborhood.
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
He was on his last gallon.
Didn't he just say it was like a terrible neighborhood, but yet he's gonna walk 2 miles probably at night?
Well, even if it's during the day, he's gonna walk in and out toward, like, just into the direction of an empty field, without a car, for miles.
like for miles.
Just stand there. and
He's
just,
gonna walk
wow.
500 miles, and then
Yeah.
he's gonna.
What's
walk
gonna happen
500
if somebody
more.
like, I don't know, pulls up in a car and like gets out of the car and pulls a gun on him? What's he gonna do? He's just gonna stand there and die.
No, he's gonna stand there and fucking narrate, just like, and look
Yeah.
at this, the natural fauna, and it's
A
the,
human being carrying a gun.
watch how it defends its territory and its natural habitat. Amazing.
He's gonna be like,
Bang.
let's take a closer look at that snout.
Oh!
Let's take a closer look at that barrel.
Let's take a closer look at that Glock.
Wow, it appears that I'm missing half my face. This is amazing.
There's a lot of punch in that Glock.
Yeah.
There weren't really any buildings so it must have been... The surrounding field looked relatively empty. There weren't really any buildings for the first mile or so, and there weren't any trees either.
That's relatively
the field went
empty.
all around. Wait, the field went all around in the different directions for several miles, and I kept going in a zigzag-type pattern.
What a weird sentence.
What weird actions.
The field went all around in the different directions for several miles, and I kept going in a zigzag-type pattern. How did you put that?
And I zagged and I zigged again.
How did you put that down on the paper and go, that sentence looks done. That doesn't need work.
Why doesn't he just go in one direction? Like, it's a big empty field. You don't need to zigzag.
Just walk.
Evasive maneuvers. Like he's like in his head, he's just like
he hasn't said this.
He's like
yeah, good.
Oh, I said he's going around like making like plane noises. He's like pew, pew.
Well, he hasn't said this, but there's like a ton of rattlesnakes around. You know.
Just everywhere.
Yeah, just everywhere, just constantly. You know.
The common field
and druggies and poor people.
Yeah, like he's just like imagine all the hot lava and everything in his head running around back and forth.
He's going, oh, geez, I don't want to step on lava.
Yeah.
There's like
I'm an urban
breaches.
explorer.
Yeah.
It took me around half an hour before I reached a small abandoned house. Well, he must have house sense because this is so far away.
Yeah.
Which was completely isolated from any other structures or people. The only thing that surrounded it was the large unkempt field and the few bushes here and there. You know, this field is not well kept up. If I was part of the field board of directors, I would not pass this field. It's unkempt.
The committee, the what's it called? The homeowners association is pretty pissed that this small abandoned house and their non-home owners, I guess, the ghost homeowners, aren't keeping up the field.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You need to get your grass cut, dude.
Yeah. This was a good thing because it meant there was very little risk of me getting caught since this house was farther away from the local area than I had hoped it wasn't going to be filled with... What? Did I just go insane? Yes, I think I did. This is a very long sentence. This was a good thing because it meant that there was very little risk of me getting caught, and since this house was farther away from the local area, I had hoped that it wasn't going to be filled with junkies or hobos. I feel out of breath. My stomach hurts a little bit. My eyes are crossing. I'm turning blue.
Wow. You're just straight up dying.
I think they have a cream for that.
Spaghetti?
Mom's spaghetti, yeah.
Mom's spaghetti. This would be unlikely, however, due to the nature of such places, despite my wishful thinking.
Oh.
It's unlikely that it wasn't going to be filled with junkies or hobos, so it's likely that it will be filled with junkies or hobos.
I mean...
Yeah, this is the nice quintuple negative.
Well, I don't know about hobos, but let's be real. Junkies don't want to hang out in places the police already are.
Yeah, but junkies
so
don't
maybe
want to...
an abandoned building would be a good place for junkies to hang out.
Yeah.
Well, as a wise man once said, the enemy of my enemy of my enemy of my enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
As a wise man once said, I don't like these unkept lots.
Yeah.
I approached the premises very slowly and carefully, as to examine if there was anyone else there. There was trash and evidence of inhabitancy. Nice word.
Inhabitancy.
Oh, we're getting spicy with those linguistics again.
Of inhabitancy.
You could have just said evidence of inhabitants.
Evidence of inhabitancy.
Inhabitancy. No, that's a nice fancy wordification there.
Yeah.
But there was evidence of inhabitancy lying all around outside the building, but I didn't see anybody inside from the windows. I went around the back of the house and went in through the door.
Can I just remind everyone? This is a creepypasta. This is very spooky.
Yeah.
I am
This is
scared.
the spookiest.
My tits are on edge. I'm so scared right now.
I'm shaking my little space boots.
So he went inside. Once again, I carefully went around the home to explore and make sure there was nobody there at the time. Thankfully, there wasn't anyone downstairs, but there was plenty of trash and debris lying around, just like outside.
Oh, shit.
Alright.
There wasn't anything valuable, though, as all the furniture and scraps of the home had most likely been taken long ago. The scraps.
Wait, why is he looking for anything valuable? Is he a urban explorer or just a robber?
Yeah, well, you know what it is, Bob. Mm-hmm. People say, wow, you steal from houses? Like, the people aren't living in? He's like, no. I'm what you like to call an urban explorer.
I'm what you would like to call an urban explorer, yeah.
I'd say, no, I would like to call you a thief. No. I'm what you would like to call an urban explorer.
Yeah.
The sad thing
Trust
is
me.
that actually sounds like something I would hear in Uncharted.
Yeah.
They weren't using it anyway. I mean, I'm an urban
It belongs in a museum.
And by museum, I mean my living room.
It belongs in the
More like
Oh my god,
belongs
dude!
in the
An urban
trash.
explorer who goes out and finds treasures in like urban stuff, and he's like, it's like Indiana Jones, but in, like apartment high rises.
That'd be fun.
And here's a fully intact
Graffiti also
toilet I
littered-
found in a beat-down old house. I use it as a coffee table.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I feel like now we're just talking about recovered art.
Yeah. Graffiti also littered the walls in various parts of the house, which showed that this was a popular spot for many other people.
So it's not
yeah, this
abandoned.
house way out in the middle, bum.
Dude, Bumfuckistan's a great place.
Yeah. Once I finished searching the downstairs, I went around the back where the suitcase, where the staircase was at, and went upstairs. The area up here was pretty much the same as the rest of the house, and it didn't take me long to finish my search.
I hate it when they design a building and they're like, okay, we've got the bottom floor. What should we do for the top? More of the same? More of the same.
Yeah.
Just stack it. I came upon the very last room, which appeared to be some kind of an office, according to the various bits of paper and spare furniture parts lying around.
What?
Yeah,
Parts.
I know in my office, I just keep like half a couch.
I keep
looking
several
for a
legs
desk
of
chair with
chairs.
one arm.
I've got a big box full of chair wheels.
I was gonna
Office
say I
chair
have
wheels.
several desk chair legs, just the legs of
Yeah.
them, in case I ever need
Yeah.
one.
I got 45 pens, and they're all out of ink.
It actually sounds like me.
My God, are you an urban explorer?
Oh, totally. I was going the other day, going through this one guy's apartment, just like ducking around corners, and I realized it was my own house.
Yeah.
So this place looks really familiar. Where
I
the
saw this guy out of the corner of my eye, and I thought, like, oh my god, I'm about to die. But then I realized it was my reflection.
Where's my reflection in the mirror? Yeah.
My life flashed before
And then
my
the-
eyes, and I
but-
saw my own bed and me jerking off, and that was it.
And then my reflection smiled and started to reach out from the mirror.
Ah.
I wish that
A
would.
skeleton popped
Kind of wish
up.
that would happen here. At least something scary would be happening.
Yeah. Oh, we're about to see something scary.
Oh boy. So I stepped inside. Immediately I was greeted by a disturbing sight in the far right corner of the room. A person's skeleton. A skelly bones.
Spooky.
Their skeleton had been lying on the ground and two things were in both hands.
Wait.
Okay.
So in the left hand there was a handgun, and other there was a note of some sort.
Wait,
Yes,
no,
a
that's
skeleton.
that's one thing in each hand, not two things in both hands.
So you're telling me that you found a dead guy holding a gun in an urban area in a beat-down old house? You don't say!
That happens. I
No
mean, that,
fucking
Two guns
way!
in one hand, the other rolling my blunt. Ugh.
also, was the skeleton clothed,
No, like everything's just rotted away. It's just a bleached white skelly bone.
including the clothes? Like everything rotted away. That's a
It's
little
like-
odd.
It's like a 1938 ancient
How
handgun.
long does it take for a person to dissolve?
I mean,
I think decompose is probably the word you're
yeah,
looking for, but it's kind of like dissolving. I don't know. It takes a while. I mean, not forever, but
it's
Yeah.
a perfectly clean skeleton. With
yeah,
no-
everything to be picked clean.
Yeah, the rats took this bitch to church.
Okay, so I was struck with surprise when I made the discovery, but after some thought it was to be expected in such a place.
Oh.
And dead bodies.
Oh, it's that classic of I saw something that was spooky and out of the normal, but I just went with it. Whatever. I didn't
Oh,
think
okay.
about it.
Whatever. And then
Spooky.
Okay, I was surprised because I hadn't found a body or a skeleton of any kind in my previous expeditions, and this was the first time I had. But the surrounding areas, like I said before, were notorious for crime and
I
poverty.
thought you were
So
like
finding
2
somebody like
miles
this-
out in like
You're
a
in-
field.
This is like Dora the Explorer, the lost episode.
This dude is
Yeah.
an asshole.
Dora the Explorer Lost episode.
Yeah, this is a Dora the Explorer lost episode.
Like Boots is
Dora the Urban
Boots showed up,
Explorer.
but he wasn't his usual happy self, and his boots were blue instead of red.
Yeah.
I thought it seemed pretty unusual, but I kept watching.
Yeah.
They went home and Dora's family was dead.
Dora-
It zoomed in on her crying face for 29 minutes, and I just couldn't look away.
I screamed hyper-realistically
Dora
in
was
Russian.
kneeling over Diego's body and stabbing it. For 35
Boots
minutes
was-
this happened, and I watched the entire time.
I thought this was
And
strange, but then maybe thought it was a double episode or something.
And I cried in Russian.
Yeah.
Oh man, lost episodes are the best.
They really
By
are.
best, I mean the worst.
Seriously, this is just like one of those. I saw a skeleton and it was spooky, but I didn't pay attention to it.
Like, who would be creeped out by a skeleton?
They're like, but I figured it was normal. I like how he gave himself an achievement for finding a skeleton.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
So I was surprised because I hadn't found one of these before, but the surrounding areas were filled with crime and poverty. So finding somebody like this didn't seem completely out of place, but some bit of surprise still took hold despite this. This guy takes forever to make a point.
Yeah, he's like, I was surprised, but I wasn't that surprised. But it wasn't that surprising. But it was a little surprising.
Yeah.
But I wasn't
So I'm a little
surprised. But it was still a little surprising.
It's like, just shut up. I tried taking a look at the note, but I couldn't read the vast majority of the person's handwriting due to the time taking its toll and poor penmanship.
If this person were
crime,
alive
poverty,
today,
and
it would
poor
go
penmanship?
Poor penmanship.
Had
I
this
found
person
a
been
dead
alive
guy on the
today, I would have
street.
given them an F on their assignment.
I could have written better with crayon.
I could have written better with all broken fingers.
I killed this man for one reason.
The only
Poor
reason
penmanship.
this man is dead.
I did
Given
the world a
area
favor.
I found him in, I would assume that he was poor and didn't go to school.
And
My
probably
good man, you are weak in your skills with the quill.
Yeah.
look at this note that I just found.
Yeah, you're.
Step 1, find dead guy. Step 2, critique writing.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? This is exactly what would happen if the Steel Donut went urban exploring. We'd see the dead body, we'd see the gun, we'd see the note, we'd look at it and start riffing.
Yeah, we drift the net.
This guy doesn't even dot his eyes. How stupid.
What the hell? This guy probably has like 20 dads.
Yeah.
No skills with the quill. But I was able to read the person's signature, and that was really all I could understand in the note.
It said,
Believe it or not, that was the first I had run into something like that, but it wasn't the last time. First I thought it was just a strange and unfortunate finding, but it was later that I realized I was completely
What
wrong.
about the signature? You pointed it out and then it didn't matter.
you said you could read it. If that's the only thing you could read, why didn't
said-
you give a name?
I could read it, and then my blood went cold. It said, George Washington.
Oh.
It said, your mom.
I looked at it
It
deeply.
wasn't long before I went... Your mom? It wasn't long before I went exploring again.
It said,
at another
don't
place.
breath.
Oh, and it was here I found another skeleton.
Oh.
Wow. No more dilly-dallying around, driving around the neighborhood. We're just there,
we're
and
just
here's a
there.
skeleton.
Everywhere he goes, he just finds skeletons. Maybe it's the same prop skeleton we used for True Bloods.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time it wasn't as clear as to their cause of death, but I wasn't so concerned with that as much as the fact that I had found a dead person.
Oh,
Skelly bones.
I was by this dumpster that was by this, apartment that college kids lived at, and there was just this box with this skeleton in it.
it said
Okay,
it said Sprinig cleaning on the side.
Yeah.
I have not read this yet. But who wants to take a bet that the reason that we are not told the signature is because he's the killer?
Oh gosh, I hope not. I don't think
I
he
hope
is.
so.
though.
That's got to be it.
I
I
don't
mean, come
think he
on.
is.
Like,
I hope
it doesn't
so.
tell you the signature. Finally, I realized the signature was my own. Why else wouldn't it tell us?
I don't.
Because look, it
'Cause
doesn't.
I
Guys
think he's
is
just
competent?
incompetent. I think he's
They
just.
did have a note in their right hand, but reading it proved very difficult,
Ew.
and the signature was, once again, the only thing I could really make out. Keep in mind, this was just after exploring the last place, which also had a dead person inside.
Oh,
Calling the
I
police.
remember
Who
when you
knows
told
that?
me a paragraph ago.
Yeah. That was the second time I had encountered a dead person's skeleton, as opposed to an alive person's
Yeah,
skeleton.
if you
just
encountered an
wandering about.
alive person's skeleton, that's terrifying.
It's just like dancing around like It was right after I found the first one. I went on another venture not long after the first and came across another abandoned structure which had a skeleton inside.
Hold on, this
No,
is three
no.
sentences.
Hold on,
Three
hold on,
sentences
hold on.
in a row that he's told us. This is the second time I found one. The first, right after the first time.
We get it. Fuck, you found them before. And now it's the second time. No shit. Get over it.
That was 2 times in a row.
Whoa.
2 times.
No, that's 3 times.
That was 2 times in a row, and I thought it was just a mere unfortunate coincidence. Oh, how wrong was I. Calling the police?
Call the police.
Now you might say,
Call the
"What,
police."
Blake? Didn't you already make that joke?" And I'll say, if he can repeat himself 3 times in a row, why can't I?
Yeah.
Every single other place that I've explored since then has had a dead person inside with a note, either on them or near them.
Oh.
It means the death had been
God.
ambiguous at times and more obvious at others. The note would usually be virtually impossible to read, except for the signature, just like all the other notes.
If it's usually impossible to read, why don't you tell us what some of them read?
After a while, it became too much, and I had to take a long break from urban exploration.
That's John Cena.
These discoveries were disturbing each time, and they never stopped.
Oh.
Every time I walked into an abandoned house, someone would throw Mardi Gras beads on me.
Yeah. Oh my God, no! Don't remind me of that dark time in my life. Oh
Yeah.
God, no, man.
For those of you who don't know, there was a time in Bob's life where everywhere he went, people threw Mardi Gras.
That's actually true. That's not even a joke. Like I would drive around town and people would throw Mardi Gras beads on me, at me. People would it reached the point where I was driving and I stopped at a stoplight and someone walked up to my car and I had my window open and they leaned into my car to put Mardi Gras beads around my neck.
Seriously?
And I was pretty irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much just like this, except this guy's finding bodies.
And it all
instead of Mardi
stopped
Gras
after
beads.
about a week and I have no idea. I never saw anyone else getting Mardi Gras beads thrown on them or given to them or anything. It was just me.
Yeah, it was a social experiment.
Yeah, on just me.
Next time they're gonna throw 1,000-degree knives at you.
Oh, fingers crossed.
After a while, it became too much. I had to take a long break from urban exploration. These discoveries were disturbing each time, and they never stopped. That's why I thought something paranormal or sinister was going on, and it somehow involved me.
Oh, you
No shit.
I couldn't continue exploring any longer. But I still consider myself a rational person. So I tried to reason to myself that I was simply imagining all of this.
That's not the rational explanation.
Also,
You're
you're
far
hardly
from a
rational,
rationalist, my
given all
friend.
the shit you told us earlier.
Yeah.
Am I hardly rational, or am I rational hardly?
Both?
Both? Yeah, I mean... Burn? Say,
Yeah,
come back,
exactly.
bro?
It's a pretty good comeback template. It's just like, yes, but am I that, or am I the inversion of
Yeah.
that?
Am I a stupid idiot, or am I an idiot stupidly?
Exactly. I love that joke. I tried to tell myself that maybe all this wasn't even real. Yeah, you just said that. And I just need some medication or to see a doctor. But I haven't had a single issue in my past regarding mental illness. I've never had any hallucinations before.
You know, it's funny. Most people who start going to a doctor the first time, they also don't have any mental illness in their history. That's how that happens. It has to start somewhere.
Yeah, most people going to a doctor for the first time are going to a doctor for the very first time.
Yeah.
They haven't been to a
Also,
doctor
hallucinations.
before. In fact, all people.
Also, you might have been
Why does that
hallucinating
say
things
most?
before and not realize
Yeah.
because they weren't hallucinations that disturbed you or bothered you.
Right. You might be hallucinating something very boring, and you might not
not
realize
notice it.
you're hallucinating. Like if you just hallucinated a person walking by you on the street,
Yeah.
and you didn't interact with the hallucination, how would you know?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, this guy's clearly not a rationalist.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
what's up,
actually
hey,
like
freaky spider in my head that I talk to. Hold on, I'm recording
Yeah.
Still Donut. Can we talk later? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Go ahead. Sorry about that interruption.
Yeah, you're Spider Tulpa.
No, it's like I remember at one point, like medication I was taking for like I think it was like ADD or whatever. One of the side effects was auditory hallucinations, and like nothing happened except like I'd kind of hear like when people were talking, like walking past me or something when I was going to class or whatever. I just hear somebody like saying my name or whatever, and it happened so often that it didn't even freak me out. It was just like annoying, just like damn it, again.
You'll be like, oh, Big Mac, what a beta cuck. Like,
Can I walk without somebody having me turn around? Fuck.
yeah. Like, I'm not a beta cuck!
Well, that's the secret is just to walk forward while spinning around the whole time. You're not always ready.
Oh, yeah. You don't have
Just
to turn to
constantly
face them because you're
spin.
constantly spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no way that I could have just kept on stumbling onto more dead people. And a note as there was no way this was just a coincidence.
No way!
No
There
way.
was no way this was such a repetitive sentence.
Yeah.
No
Story.
way.
That was only just a week ago, but now something else has happened.
Oh,
I
you had
decided
to take
use
a
that
long break
sub-basement.
from urban exploration? A whole week?
Oh,
Yeah.
I found a long time ago it's a storage area. Gee, that's what a shocking thing to use a storage area for. Storage. Just an hour ago, I had gone down there to grab some supplies for some work I needed to get done. Nice and specific. Good writers always are just completely vague all the time. Some supplies for some work that I had to do. I noticed something immediately odd about the center of the room. On the ceiling there was a rope tied around a loose wooden plank, and it was shaped like a noose.
The
I
wooden
saw
plank
this.
was shaped like a noose?
That's amazing. That's what you call that wooden carve art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
That's some good carpentry right
It's a little dark, but like that's pretty cool, I guess.
And then the rope was shaped like a
rope
person.
Look with wood, yeah. When I saw this, I felt fear striking the very core of my being, and I couldn't do anything else but try to reason why that rope was here.
He was spooked to his core.
He went in there and he was like, "Oh my god, this rope! It must be."
Look at this rope that I just found.
When I say go, get ready to jump.
When I say go, put it around your throat. Oh gosh, it's
Lord.
dark. Nice and dark.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody else in the house, and I had no recollection of tying the rope. This is the big scary ending.
Yeah.
A rope that he doesn't remember. Nor was it there before, so how could it have gotten here now? I'm writing all this down on a few spare pages of paper just in case something happens to me.
Spare
Something
pages?
very strange or terrifying is happening to me, and I don't know what it is.
That's
The
it.
end.
What the fuck was the point of that?
Everything comes around now.
It goes full circle, except it doesn't.
Written by Gabum.
Oh, yeah.
Not Gaben, but Gabum.
Gabe McKeldry.
Yeah. Also known as Gabum.
Gabe, what the fuck are
Gabe.
you doing?
Dude, yeah, what was that? Like, that wasn't scary at all. I didn't...
That wasn't creepy.
That was like a day in the life of something really dumb.
Yeah.
Why did you spend like 12 years describing the first scene and then just be like, after that I found another body? Then
I found a body, found another body. That was 2 bodies that I had found. I found 2 bodies. I found 1 body, and then I found another body. I found a body.
2 bodies are exactly what I had found. 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
I
Bodies
found a
that-
bunch of bodies in places.
Look into my eyes, and it's easy to see. 1 and 1 make 2. 2 and 1 make 3. It was destiny.
Yeah. Exactly.
Did you
And then I go home and I see a noose, and I go,
Did you
wasn't
think
planning
you
on
built
killing.
up to that? Do you think that was a payoff? Like,
Yeah, that was supposed to be like the big, like, there was a rope in my basement.
I wasn't planning on killing myself, but what the hell?
yeah.
It's right here. I hate to see it go unused.
Yeah.
Someone probably put a lot of effort tying this noose and getting it ready for me. And
I
feel
hate
it'd
to
be
see
rude
it go to
not hang
waste.
Myself.
hey, this is a pretty good Halloween decoration. I should put this up this October.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang myself in like the living room and invite everyone over for a party.
Yeah.
I'll be the decoration.
Whole time his like urban exploration is just going into Party City, and he went to the Halloween aisle, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's a skeleton!"
Oh, there's a skeleton
And then
in
he
this
goes
Party
and
City.
hangs himself.
See, that's the twist. That's the twist. He was really just going into like Halloween shops and finding fake skeletons.
He sees a skeleton at Party
Turns the
City,
corner.
and then he hangs
He
himself.
sees like a prop gun and a prop skeleton, and the reason the note doesn't have any illegible
This
writing
is a fucking
on it
receipt.
it's because it's a receipt. Yeah, it's a worn down receipt. And he goes, no.
The person signed the bottom. Yeah.
My god.
Oh, jeez.
That would be a good twist ending, to find out that this guy was just nuts and imagining like death scenes.
Now, aren't
and
you-
seeing
aren't-
populated stores as abandoned houses?
Now, aren't you glad that it didn't end up being him being the killer? Instead, it was
And
just a
aren't you glad I didn't
non-ending.
say- Yeah, aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Yeah.
Aren't you glad I didn't say he was the killer?
Yeah.
Whew.
And there's no comment, so
And there wasn't like
as there should be.
no comments, no like what was the signature? No, nothing. Just I go home,
Nothing.
find a
There's
noose.
no
The
questions to answer. I think that tied up the story pretty well, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
I could
I'm
add a
what you like to
category.
call an urban explorer. I think that's about it. So thank you so much for watching. Big Mac, thank you for
joining us,
joining
Big
us.
Mac.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Again, if you enjoyed his presence on this video, please go check out his channel and support him or whatever.
Fucking subscribe,
Support him
man.
on
You know you
Patreon
like it.
and
You know you
send him
fucking like it.
PayPal
Subscribe like a
donations.
bitch.
And if you can, just go to his house and explore. Just explore the shit out of his house.
Totally,
Ignore
man.
the skeletons.
Yeah, he has a couple dead bodies in his basement, and the police
Yeah,
are
I talk to
coming
him
for
every day, dust him off a couple times, dress him different ways. I dance with him at night.
Yeah, see,
Well, see, the problem is you leave that noose up, and every time someone sees it, they just can't resist hanging there.
Yeah, you know,
that's
so
true.
I always get to add to my collection just because people walk in. It's like, what the hell? I might as well.
I mean, he's what you like to call an urban explorer.
Urban explorer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one.